paints that I was going to use before I started streaming. Then I got too caught up with starting to stream to do that. So we're doing this on the fly. We need my blue acrylic and a red acrylic marker for the flowers because I want those to be a little bit more detail. And then, let's see. What do we got for paint? This is still not open, but this should be good for the light green. Let's see. Yeah, that looks good for the light green. Okay. Alrighty, so we just need the dark green, or like the true green. So we got that, we've got these. This brush is too big. A nice medium-sized brush. This will work. Ah! Alright. We're gonna use this brush. Should be able to do everything I need to. And actually, this green looks like it'll work for green. Yep. Yeah. It's maybe a little too dark. No, this is fine. We'll use this green. All right, now. I was not prepared enough. I wanted to make sure I actually was on time today, and I wasn't prepped at all. So we're doing this on the fly. Okay, that should be plenty of green. We'll still put this to the side. And light green. Okay. Put that there. We'll put the box here. All right. Let's start with the light green, and then we'll go back and do the dark green. So we're gonna, the inner, oh, this is not, hello, welcome to the stream. It took me a second to get prepped. This is, I might need to use better acrylics than this. This is not, the filament's too thin. So we'll have to use, will this work? That's like empty. That's, cause like that's way too thin. Here, I'll put my sketch for what we're making up front. Make sure it doesn't get paint on so we know what we're doing. This is too dark for Roserade. This paint's too dark for Roserade. We're going to, I might not have a better green. I might just have to layer it a lot, or I might have to use the marker, the acrylic markers, which is fine. Let's see if I have. Let's see if I have better acrylic markers. This will work for the dark green, I think. How does this look for light green? What do we think? That's too dark, right? Actually, this is going to be better for that's pretty good color for the dark green, I think, for Roserade. So we need a lighter, like a really light yellow green. Let's see. This? That's good. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay. Well, I guess we might as well start with the dark green instead, just because now I have to wait for that spot to dry. Actually, oh, that's not holding either. Am I just low on paint? Or, no, yeah, that side's just bad. This is just going to take a while, I guess. That's actually too light on the filament. Is this one too light? No, I think that's fine. We can go with this. I think that'll work. And what do we think? That's good, right? Those two for the light and dark. What do we think? What are we thinking? Does that work? I think the light green's definitely good. The dark green might be a little off, but I think it works for Roserade for sure. Because these colors are just whatever. I was using like the retractable crayons, and these are just the shades that I had. So I think these are gonna be our greens. I think they look pretty good. Let's put that back up. Actually, what we can do before I put the flowers on, we can just go ahead and put the number on the helmet. And then I should probably cut the filament. And let's see if I actually... We can also pick out a visor while we're picking out colors. Make sure I have the correct visor color. I should have something. Does that work? That's green. That's like a... This might be our best... This might be our best one. I'm going to look for something more yellow than that, but... I don't see... It doesn't look like we have anything more yellow than that. That's probably fine, though. That's probably fine. It's kind of yellow. Alright. I think the number we're gonna go with the dark green. So I think we're gonna end up using the light green more. So I'm putting the dex number on the helmet. So we're gonna do 7 0 4. Okay. And then let's cut the visor, cut all the supports and stuff off. I just use wire cutters to cut off the supports, so we're just gonna take the wire cutters and we're just gonna pop it out. And it's a little bit messy, the interior visor, but this makes it so that there's basically no supports when I print it, which makes it print faster. So it's really hard for me to get it in the. So I'm not gonna be able to get this in frame. So we'll make sure that the actual drawing is in frame while I'm working on getting the helmet filament or the visor film out. And maybe if this goes well, we can do another one another time. I put up a poll about 4 or 5 hours ago on the channel. So if I do this again, I'll probably put another poll, and the other 3 helmets that I didn't end up using today will still be contenders. I didn't get any votes on any of my socials for any of the helmets in the time period that I needed. But my girlfriend liked the Roserade the best, so that's the one I went with because I didn't really have a preference for it versus any of the other colors or any of the other designs. I just kind of went through a bunch of my favorite Pokemon and made a bunch of designs. This is probably also the only other stream we're going to do this week for Pokemon Day. I wanted to stream every day, but it just hasn't quite worked out the way I wanted it to. We might stream Unite tomorrow, because there's a new character in Unite that comes out tomorrow. Zapdos comes out tomorrow. So if I can get it set up right, we might be doing some Unite, but it would probably be later in the day, like tomorrow night, because I'm pretty sure he doesn't come out till 7. So if I do that, it'll probably be later tomorrow night. But yeah, this is gonna take a second, so I expect viewership to dip. But if y'all have anything you want to ask or say in the chat, I will be answering, because I don't need my full attention on the helmet right now. I'm just cleaning it up before we really get into putting the paint on. Oh, I was wondering why my hand's sticky. It's because I had to use glue on the printer bed to keep the adhesion good. So pulling off the supports, the bottom of the supports have the glue on it still. Almost done with the bottom of the supports before we finish the visor. And most of the helmet should be white. The top's gonna be white. I don't know what I'm gonna do on the back. I might just keep the top white and then do green again on the bottom part. Because Roserade's not really that white. It's just the tip of just her hair. But let's get this cleaned up as quickly as we can. The visor is really difficult because it's not actually supported. It's part of the print, because the print's supposed to be completely supportless. But I guess my printer auto-generates supports anyway. Or maybe they lied to me, or maybe the file lied to me. And there's just supports on the bottom, which is fine. I don't need it to be supportless. Just because of how it's designed, where the visor goes on the inside of the helmet is a lot tougher to remove than the other supports are. So there we go. That's a big chunk of filament right there. Okay. Let's get this. Peel that back. We're we're almost done with the first half of the visor. But I did remove the rest of the support, so we this shouldn't take too much longer. And then we can get to painting without having to worry about things that we're going to be removing. This is actually my second Pokemon helmet I'm making. I did a Gengar one on commission. So oh, that's a little bit damaged. Oh well. We got a little bit of chip on the edge of the visor from trying to cut off the support. But it shouldn't be too big of an issue. I should be able to mostly, for the most part, cover it up. Alright. First half that's probably as clean as I'm going to get it. Oh. Yeah, I chipped right here, but that's okay. So now I have to remove the other half, which hopefully will be easier. Ugh. Nope, I spoke too soon. All right. So the top parts of the visor, where the visor goes, is really thin, so I can just kind of chip away at the top. But the bottom is like really tight on the... It doesn't want to come off. Alright, almost done, and then we'll get to actually painting. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more retention on the stream once we actually get going. Almost done with this cut. And then for anyone tuning in, the drawing on screen is what I sketched for what we're painting today. I just am trying to get the supports off the print, the 3D print for the helmet before we paint it. This is being really difficult on me. And I have filament all over me. My wrist hurts from trying to get this to come out. Ow! It's a really weird angle, so it hurts my wrist real bad. And I can't pull it off right. Okay, that was a good chunk. Maybe I can just... Yep, there we go. There we go. All right. Now we can actually get to actually painting it. Let me see if I can get a better angle again. There we go. Let's just go ahead and start with the dark green on the outside of the visor. And we're using the paint marker just because I didn't have any of the right shade of like actual paint, but these are basically just, they're just acrylics. They're just in marker form instead of liquid, more liquidy, painty paint. There we go. And that is the technical term. Painty paint is the technical term. And this shouldn't take too long either. I think this is going to be a pretty straightforward helmet. The Charmander I painted on the stream on Monday might actually end up taking longer than this one. Now that we're actually painting it and not doing the filament removal and stuff. All right. I'm gonna put away these other paints that I'm not gonna use so that I can reach things better. Did I? No, I didn't have this going all the way down because I didn't have this side of the helmet on the sketch. But I am going to have it go all the way down. And then I think we're gonna put the lighter green in that area. Kind of gently go down the side. It doesn't matter a whole lot if I mess up the lines here, because we are gonna go over it again with that lighter green. And I can clean it up a little bit then. So like that speck that I just messed up will be fine. Because that's gonna just get painted over with the light green. Hopefully everyone's having a relaxing Wednesday. Nothing too busy. I'm sure a lot of people have work, but work can be relaxing sometimes on chiller days. And we're gonna get this green in here. Let's clean up that line a little bit. I don't think going side to side is really helping me here. No, it should be fine. And then the up and down definitely is working better. The up down strokes are working better than the side strokes. So we're gonna have to go back over that up and down. Because we were going with the grain versus against the grain, because the grain is in paint layer or in print layers, so. It's good. We're getting a darker green from it when we're not following the print lines. Is that filament or is that was a string of filament? Okay. Make sure we don't leave those white spaces. Cover that corner there. So far, so good. Make sure we get all of this painted in. We'll go over this a second time. And I can... Let me put a picture of Roserade up on the... That's okay. Can I put one on the screen? No, that's green screen. Nope, I guess I can't put it on the screen. I'm still getting used to these like up down short style live streams because usually I stream from a video recording software instead of from YouTube directly. And I know these pop up on the like YouTube when you're scrolling through shorts. Sometimes streams pop up, so I believe this is in that section of the For You page. I don't actually know. Hello, welcome to the stream. Okay. I can't get... There we go. Whoa. And everything's falling off my desk. My tripod just slipped. We want it up more than that. Okay. Back to the regularly scheduled programs, maybe, possibly? Did I lose anything else? No, we're good. Okay. Yeah, I'm painting a Star Wars helmet that looks like Roserade. And yes, there's lots of Pokemon because this is the same setup that I use for my Pokemon card videos that most of the content on my channel is right now is TCG openings. My desk is kind of a mess right now, but the actual like layout is there. We're right in front of Pokemon cards are pricey. I tend to record my videos in like clumps. So I'll get like a booster bundle, which comes with 6 packs of cards. And I'll spread them out across 6 days instead of opening the box all at once. And I typically buy from the vending machines, but I've got a big backlog, so I don't have to worry about finding cards as long as I can keep the backlog up. And I'm not paying the resale prices. I'm paying only paying MSRP. Or I'll trade. I'm gonna have to really go over this again. I wish I had better like actual paint screen instead of using the acrylic markers. Because this is not adhering to the filament super well. So let me double check one more time. Well, nothing's really adhering to the filament really well. This is way too dark. Yeah, I don't have any good greens, unfortunately. I have green spray paint, but I don't want to use that on this. So I guess we're stuck with the acrylic marker. Just gotta make sure the camera doesn't fall again. And there. And that doesn't look like we're gonna get any darker. I might be running out of paint in this pen, which would not be ideal. But it looks like we're fine. It looks like we're all right for now. Maybe I should have done the green spray paint, because this is not, it's lightning really bright. The other one didn't brighten. The lighter green isn't brightening at all, but the darker one is. So let's see if this green will. That's too blue, I think. Because that green's like a bluish green. Everything's falling apart. That's like a bluish green. That's not what I want. Yeah, that's way too dark green. My other green paint's way too dark. What's this? Is this just a regular marker? Yeah, my only option might be to to use the spray paint. That's blue. Yeah, we're probably just gonna have to stick with that green, with the green that we're using. Let's go over the light green first, and just worry about the dark green later. Okay, we definitely need to use the brush part of the pen. We'll worry about the dark green after the fact. Because the dark green doesn't seem to... Maybe I just need a different shade of green. For the darker green. Because I think that lighter green is good. Have to be extra careful here because a lot of this needs to stay white. That's good. I guess we might as well finish the top of the helmet with light green. Just finish all the light green parts. So that I can just focus on the dark greens after. We'll do the light greens and then we'll do the roses and then we can figure out what the heck I'm doing with the dark green. And then I might need to get more yellow visors because this is barely, the visor we're gonna use for this is barely yellow. It's like a green yellow. And some of my other ones that I want to do if we do this again they need yellow. Okay. I'm not getting paint on the actual head piece, am I? No. Forgot to print the vents too. So I'm gonna have to make that after the stream. I totally forgot that something needs to go there. That's not gonna be empty space. All right. And then I want this to be light green. Actually, no. No, I don't. I changed my mind. I'm going to make the colors of the flower on each specific size, I think. So we're going to... Oops. That's not ideal. Well, now I'm going to dip my hand in paint. All right. Okay, just about done with that part. That looks all right. And then we want to follow the line here. Okay. And then follow up the helmet. And then okay. Did I just poke it? No. Okay. Make sure I don't touch the paint that I shouldn't have used. The darker green seems like it's holding up, that I just had a bad... I hit the grain bad on the top. And we'll just need to do multiple layers of it. Which is fine. Let's get that. We want up and down as much as we can because that's how it's getting most of its colors, from these up and down strokes. Okay. And then we're gonna follow there. All right. And we only got a little bit more on this part. Okay. Fill in this last bit. And there's a couple places where there's a little bit too much white showing through. But for the most part, I think that's good. All right. Other side. We're gonna start over here, right there. And again, this is the part that we need to be more careful of because the top of the helmet will be staying white. Let's get this around. Almost there, and there we go. Make sure I get the whole thing. This is where there's a little bit of a print fail there. So, but that's okay. All right. And then again, the cheek here, and then we'll be done with the light green. And I'll do the flowers, and we'll finish with the dark green. It looks like most of the reason the dark green didn't stick on the top was because I went with the grain instead of against it. So that should be an easy fix. And the colors will also pop a lot more when I always put a layer of Mod Podge, which is like a gluey protective coat that protects it from like water, and it'll make it more shiny. So it also makes the colors pop a little bit more. So the darker green should definitely look better when I put finishes on it. I just gotta make sure that the light green doesn't run out of ink before I am done with it. Which I don't think it will. It's looking pretty good. I haven't used it a whole lot. Should be much more concerned about the dark green. And I am a lot more concerned about the dark green. The dark green's the one that's gonna give us trouble, so as long as we can finish everything the way I want it to be, that is all right. Almost done. Here. And there. And we're almost done with the light green, and then we'll do the flowers. All right. We probably will take a break after I do these flowers, and I'll come back. I have some errands to run that I forgot about. And then we'll come back and finish. Maybe I can get some paint while I'm out too. And then the dark green will look better that way. Actually, we'll probably just end this stream as I'm done with this green, and then I'll come back and do the flowers and the dark green afterwards, after my errands. But that should be it. That should be good. All right, and that'll give it time to let the paint I don't want on it dry. And then hopefully we get a little bit more viewership because it'll be later in the day too. So we'll get more people on the stream. All right. So I will see you guys later. If you're watching after the fact, because I'm planning on posting these after the fact, then like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later this afternoon.